Hi, welcome to Derek Burleson Art. Today, going to do something a little bit different. We're going to review a piece of equipment that I bought. It's for washing and rinsing your brushes. It's not about the name. It's going to be about the item itself. And is it a gimmick? Is it worth it? How much did it cost? So we're going to get into that, and we're going to do a little test, see if this thing really works. So stick around. I think we'll have a lot of fun. Answer a lot of questions on these if you've seen them advertised. Is it worth it for you to have? But if you stick around, we're gonna test it out and see what we get. Okay, here we are. Today we're gonna look at this little container. I bought it off Amazon, and I believe it was Aidilar was the name. It's not available anymore, so I don't know if they're just out of stock, if the company's not making them anymore. But there's several other ones on there that are very similar, just different names. And they range from like $6.99 to I think 15 or 16 is what I saw. I think I paid somewhere around 14 or 15 for this one. But what it is it's a brush rinse and wash. Normally, this is what I always use. Put water on both sides, rinse, and place for your brushes. So it cost, what was that in there? It was $9.99. Yeah, it was $9.99 exactly. This was about anywhere between $10 and $15. I don't know. And then when I go out to work outside or whatever, I use one of these. And this thing was $22.99, so $23. What I like about it is you put a little water in there. You can rinse, got a little place for your brush. Put the lid on, you can snap it closed, it won't go anywhere. The other one I use is I just have a container. I use this one when I go out. I can put my water in this. This is what I usually use for my water-soluble oils. And then you can just screw the top on, and it's not going to leak. But anyway, here in the studio, like I said, I had been using the brush wash rinse, but I saw this and I thought, okay, let's just see. The concept is good, so we'll just see if it works. Now, again, you have a water bottle, goes upside down, comes through this trough, fills this little container up. Then you rinse your brushes, clean them off, and then you just flush them, and then the water goes down in here. So let's set this up and see how it works. And it also has a little place for your paints. Now I use a wet table for mine, so you probably want to use something else, and unless you're kind of going out or something. But I'm just doing this for purposes of today. All right, so let's take our container and let's turn it over just like this, and it fits in. There's a little notch that you can see, and it fits in that notch. Yep, just wasn't sure. Wanted to make sure that was in there. As you can see, it fills it up here, and you can take. Let me grab my little towel here. I'm just going to use a little like 3/4 inch brush, flat brush. Dip it in there, get it clean. So let's just go in here and let's just grab. I got some, and the paint means nothing. I'm just going to put it on here and then clean it. Kind of got some colors like black, some orange, some ochre, things that might see in the water. White, just kind of to mix. But let's say I want to come in here, and usually the first time you're putting your gesso on, getting your gesso on there, and then let's see, tighten that up just a hair. There we go. And then a little water if you want. I don't usually use my water there. I use my little Mr. bottle. You can get them anywhere, Walmart. Amazon. I don't know where these came from. This says fingertip sprayer, but they're great. So let's just say I want to clean that. So I come in here, clean it, and now the neat thing is I can hit this plunger, flush the water. It's still running that. I can just let it keep running through, and then let it fill back up, and my brush is absolutely clean. Really kind of neat. And then it goes in there, kind of like a drinking fountain there. All right, so let's just go in here. Let me just grab some black. Black's a harsh color, and let's just come up here. Let's just kind of put some paint on. Again, we're not making art here. We're just kind of going to see how it works with some different brushes. Okay. Now, we want to go into something else, so let's clean this. Okay, I start out, I do my flush. Just let it kind of go through there. It's got these little knobs and things in there. And like I said, I'm not doing a review on the brand name or its design. I'm doing on the concept of it. And see there, we're perfectly clean. Our water is perfectly clean. So now let's go into a little orange over here. And get that all in there. Let's maybe mix a little. That way we get some good orange and black mix. Something like this. There we go. No, again, we're not building anything here. All right, so that was with the 1-inch brush. Let me clean it real good. Clean it out there. And I'm using a lot of, normally you'd be doing a lot more painting. I'm using a lot more water than normal. Okay, so we know we'll work with that one. Again, same thing, got a smaller brush. Let's come in here. Let's just put a little paint on here, just like that. Maybe we want to dab a little bit of black in there. So we know it works with that. Now just go in there, clean that out real good. Now, if we just left it like that, which is what I would have done in my water there, it gets it pretty clean, but then you still get a little bit of that paint in there. Okay. And then there was a little bit of black still in there that on my brush. All right, so we know that works. Same way, fan brush, you can dip in there, clean, and it'll work just the same. I'm not going to do painting with it because if these brushes will work. Now I know a lot of you, same thing, script liner, clean, get in there, and it's got a little place where you can kind of clean on the side there, but that's perfect. But I know a lot of you are going to ask, well, what about like my Hake brush? And I've got a number 2 Hake brush here. And I got this one here. It's also a number 2. It's a little more spread out, but for this purpose, we'll just kind of put it on there and kind of see how it does. Okay. Now I just getting that kind of wet. Now let's say we were going to put our gesso over here. Let me spritz that just a little bit. There we go. Again, we're not worrying about, I'm just going to get, so if I was getting my canvas all ready to go, I would be doing something like this. We'll just kind of spread it around a little bit. Again, we're not trying to make masterpieces and dreams come true here. We're just trying to, whoa. Now, I normally wouldn't have this right in front of me, so I wouldn't be banging it around. Just kind of getting paint spread around there. Kind of getting a pink color there, but so I'm trying to get some, and then let's go here. Let's add a little black, little, there we go. Just a spritz of water. And it spreads pretty good. Yeah, made a nice little gray color there. Now we got to clean this out. So let's see if it works in here. So I come in here, whoops, and get a little water in there. Clean that out. And then I just, whoops, let me get this way so you can see it. And it's a little bit tighter fit. I got a little water on there, but again, this would mostly be nothing in there, so you could get water in there and clean it up. So it does work with a bigger brush, the Hake brush. I don't know that I'd want to go more than about a 2-inch. 3-inch might be a little big in there. But of course, that's easy enough to have something like that also. Or what I've used is I just, go to Home Depot or somewhere like that, and you just get you one of those little roller pans. I've used this a lot. Add a little water in there for using bigger brushes if you want, and it works really well, and you can get them for a couple of bucks. So anyway, I think that we're just going to call this done, this little review. But I think for the price, I really like it. I've used it actually quite a bit on some of my paintings. I've had it for about 3 weeks. I've probably done 4 or 5 paintings since then, and it's worked great every time. So I think it's worth the money. Again, this brand wasn't out, and let me see if I can kind of show you there. But that was it. Just kind of showing some other prices, but that was the name of it, and it works for watercolors, acrylics. I would imagine that the water-based soluble oils would work. I haven't tried that yet, but I like to keep my acrylics and my oils separate. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this little demonstration. It helped you out. Yeah, I really like it because it keeps your water clean. You can go in there, you can flush the water down into the reservoir, keep cleaning your brush comes out clean. When I use other things, the water gets nasty after a while, and you either got to go clean it or you have to have 2 or 3 sources. I used to have like 2 or 3 different cleaning things I'd have there, and I'd put it in there, and the brush would be dirty, and I'd clean that, then go to the next one and clean it a little bit, then maybe wipe it out and go to the third one, and then that would get it clean. But this thing really saves time, and I think if you're looking for something to clean your brushes, I would look at these rinse stations. I think they're great. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Have a great week. I'm going to try to do a painting tomorrow, and we'll get that posted. But we got our class next week, so stay tuned, see what we painted there. But anyway, have a great week, and we'll see you on the next one.